If you're a beginner and want to learn the bar muscle up, watch this video because I'm going to show you the best progressions you can do. What's up guys, it's Godrosi from Gymnastics Method, and in this video I'm going to show you the best progressions for the bar muscle up. But before you're even thinking about the bar muscle up, first you need scapula movements and control, inverted rows and pull-ups. Why? Because these will contribute to the pulling strength, 90% what you need for a good bar muscle up. So if you don't have all these, forget about it. I won't go into the details now because I want to show you the best progressions. This is a whole other area that I talked about before in separate videos for the scapula control, the inverted rows and the pull-ups. But the point is that you need all these foundations, at least 10 to 15 reps of 3 sets of elevated leg inverted rows and at least 5 to 10 chest to bar pull-ups. So if you haven't watched those already, stop this video now and check out the links below. These are also free YouTube videos where you can learn more. So before we do anything, I really want you to understand the technique of the muscle up. I will show you one, and I really want you to pay attention to every details. First, the small swing that I have, and then the pulling strength, and after that, the lean forward on the top. So naturally, if you just jump up and grab the bar, you will have a natural swing. So unless you're not below the bar completely and you just jump up like this, you won't have any momentum. But normally people just step back a little bit and jump up, and you see you have a little swing. So you have to start the pulling. When you jump up, you have this little swing forward, and when you stop and your body will swing back, that's when you have to do the pulling, okay? So you jump up, do the swing, and from there you will do the muscle up. But the point is, this is a technique that I teach also in the high pull-up video. You have to practice this, and I will show you later in the progressions too how to do it. But this is really important. And you know, many people say that you have to just point with your toes forward, but I always say that it's the full body stretch what's important. It's almost like you're an elastic band. You stretch forward, and when you reach the end of your stretch, you just immediately, explosively go up. So when you do this forward swing, you have to stretch your body. Yes, sure, you can point your toes in a point, but what's most important is that you have to stretch from the shoulders, push out your chest a little bit, because if you don't have it, it's gonna be like difficult, difficult to pull up. You need the stretch, and after the stretch, you have elastic energy stored in your tissues, and that's gonna help a lot. To jump, push, and then do the muscle up. So after the stretch, once you pull explosively, that's why it's important to have the scapula control, the inverted rows and the pull-ups. So all these will add up. When you do the pull-up, you will have this explosive strength, and the higher you can pull yourself, the higher you will go, and the less you have to lean forward and do the dips. So when you will do it for the first time with little strength, it's going to be probably like this. So you just lean forward and you do a dip on the top. That's the more beginner version. Just lean forward and push. And as you progress and your pulling strength is better and better, you'll be able to pull higher, and the less you have to lean forward. All right, so that's the technique. It's super important to understand this little swing, the explosive pull, and the forward lean, because you will have to pay attention to all these in the next progressions. Let's go. The first progression is the jumping bar muscle up. So you have to choose a lower bar, because we'll do the same technique as I showed you, but with leg assistance. So maybe it's even too low, but you can practice the forward stretch and push out your chest and the shoulder stretch. And from here, you'll have to jump a little bit and lean forward on the top and push up yourself and come down and do it again. Just stretch, go up and push up. So you see, it's a pretty low bar and my legs are super bent, but what I want to focus on here is the little stretch here in the shoulders, and then imagine that you do the muscle up without the leg assistance. And here you will also have to pay attention to the pulling. So yes, sure, in the beginning you can jump a lot, but step by step as you move forward, you just Really want to focus on the upper body strength and jump as little as possible. Just swing and lean forward. Super important here, you can help a lot. A really common mistake in the muscle up, I made a separate video about it, the chicken wing. So if your pulling is not proper enough, that's why I emphasized a lot these basics, the scapula control, the rows and the pull-ups, because if you don't pay attention to those and if you don't have a proper pulling strength, then you will suffer on the way up, and you want to compensate and really create this mechanically more advantageous position for the support when you're on the top, because when your elbows go up, that's going to create the support here. So here you can just push up yourself, but you know, this chicken wing position, or even if you do it with both arms, that's gonna hurt your shoulders over time a lot. So you really want to jump or pull high enough to lean forward and not do it like this, okay? It's super important. If you can do it on a lower bar, let's see a little bit higher bar and do the same. Let's go. So if you can perform it on the lower bar, and if you find a little bit higher, I think the most optimal would be like somewhere here, but they just changed the whole setup and it's a little bit higher. But the point is that if you have a low bar enough to jump, it's actually pretty good for me. You can, you know, with leg assistance, do the same swing. Swing forward, you push out your chest and really stretch those arms, because that's another huge mistake that you have to fix in the beginning. You want to stretch the arms. It's not like this, because it's going to be ugly if you do it this way, okay? Stretch out. Same as the bend. You stretch out and then it's going to be way easier to pull. So here I have to pull a lot more. I can't jump as much. Swing forward and then pull, lean forward and do the dip. And again, stretch forward and jump up. You can feel this rhythm. You go down, forward, and then pull again. And try to pull as high as you can. So even here, just jump. You see? You can basically skip the dip part if you pull strong enough, because you will pull here in a high pull-up. If you can do like belly button or even hips, you just have to lean forward and you're on the top. So you will see, like from a side view, if you record yourself, then in the beginning it's going to be more like you just lean forward a lot, and as you pull higher it's going to be just a slight forward lean, okay? So once again, you can even start with the jump and just put your legs down, and from here just jump and try to go as high as you can. Another important thing here is once you start the pulling, you really want to squeeze your core. As you squeeze your core, it's not going to be that kipping movement that many people do. You know, the leg, the knee raise, or kicking with the toes. If you keep your core tight and you pull, it's going to be way easier and much nicer. So if you can do about 3 to 5 reps from the jumping muscle up, you can move on to the next progression. The second progression is the bar muscle up with resistance band. You definitely want to start with a stronger band, because this will allow you to do a proper technique without too much, you know, effort. And what I always say first is you have to tune your nervous system, and you want to teach your nervous system the movement with low intensity, okay? So just choose a thicker band, and I don't want to repeat myself. You have to do the same technique that I just told you, the little forward swing, the stretch from the shoulders, and you know, the strong pull and the forward lean. You have to do the same thing here. It's gonna be just much easier thanks to the bend. So you want to step into the bend. I suggest to do it with both feet, and obviously you won't jump up here, but prepare the technique with a little swing like this. You know, I already talked about it in the high pull-up video. You can even try to just step forward a little bit and do this swinging technique, and then do the high pull it's gonna be the same here, but you have to lean forward on the top and really focus on that elbows to be tucked in and do the dip, and then again stretch forward and lean forward, and again aim forward and lean forward. It's gonna be super easy if you have the right technique that I told you before. And as you progress, just wanna switch to a lighter band so you see the difference. This is way thicker. It's gonna help a lot, but as you have the right technique, you wanna use a thinner one. I'm sure you guys have a lot of these, and do the same thing. Wow. It's gonna be much more difficult. Do the swing and the stretch and pull and lean forward, and stretch and lean forward. If you skip the stretch and you just come down, it's gonna be hard. So always remember, if you start the second rep, you always have to do the same stretch. You have to aim forward, okay? There is not much more to explain here. If you know the right technique and if you practice with the band, I'm sure you will succeed. And if you can do a few reps, let's say 3 to 5 reps with the band, then you can move on to the final progression. Alright guys, so the final progression is the muscle up itself. So if you have the right basics, everything's good, you learned the right technique and you test it out with the jumping muscle ups and then you did it with the band, there's gonna be a part where you wanna get rid of those and try real time, real life muscle up on the bar. And there are a few tips that I wanna share here. Earlier I mentioned the kipping. So kipping is not a bad thing. If it serves the purpose of performing a nice muscle up later on, you can definitely do it. The missing link that most people have is the strong core or the activation of the core. So they will do it all the time with kipping. But once you pass these steps that I just showed you, you are allowed to do a few kipping reps if it's gonna serve your nice muscle up. So you wanna do the same technique and really focus on the pulling, but if you do a little piking or knee raise to help you to get up there, it's fine. So what I suggest is to stand below the bar, step one step backwards, and then jump up, and as you see that swinging and if you feel the stretch, right before you start going backward, you start the pulling and you can do a little kip, okay? So jump up, stretch, and a little kip will help you to get up there. First, just do one, okay? That's gonna be the first step. Step back, jump up, do a little raise, and it's gonna help you to get up here, okay? And then, once you feel it, once you experience, it's gonna be awesome. I think it's a good feeling, especially for the first time. And then, you really wanna squeeze the core, do the same technique with just a little pike. So just a little pike there. And the goal from here is to eliminate that little piking from the hip and just maintain the straight body position right here. Okay? So you're allowed to do a little kipping, knee raise, or piking in the beginning, but then slowly but surely you want to really activate the core, do the pulling and the forward lean with a straight body. So don't forget those hollow body holds, dragon flags or planks or long push-up holds, because that's gonna make your muscle up super clean. And now let's talk about how to do more. Same as I told you before, when you're up there, you really wanna point your toes forward and stretch your chest. It has a rhythm, so you don't wanna do it too fast, because if you do it too fast, I will show you what happens. You do the first rep, go up, and you don't wait, and it's gonna be just a sudden trying. You know, in the beginning it's not gonna happen. You really have to try a few reps and try to do the stretch, because it's completely different when you jump up and do the swing and when you go down. But essentially you always have to just give it some time, feel the stretch, and after do the next rep, okay? So jump up, stretch and pull, and then forward and pull. Then again, forward and stretch, and then pull. Here too, if you need a little help, you need some kipping, you're free to do so, but as I said, you really want to activate the core and try this technique. Guys, it's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. It didn't work for me for the first time. I had to do this many times until I got here. So now you know the blueprint. I told you all the most important prerequisites. Don't even think about the muscle ups until you can't perform nice scapular depressions and adductions and have that neuromuscular connection between your arms and upper body and the lats. And after that, you have to build up the pulling strength with inverted rows, pull-ups, chest to bar pull-ups, and then get started with the high pull-ups, which is gonna be the entrance for the muscle up. So essentially, if you can do a few nice high pull-ups, you're gonna be able to do with this technique the muscle up super easy. So just try first the jumping muscle ups, do some elastic band muscle ups, and then if you get those techniques right, you're gonna be able to do nice muscle ups like this with kipping in the beginning and try to remove the kipping with core activation. I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. If you need personalized help, 24/7 accountability from an expert, apply to one-on-one coaching and get your personalized plans to put you on a fast track in your journey. But otherwise, if you want to work at your own pace using the same well-structured system, get access to all my programs, check out the link below, download the Gymnastics Method app and become a member now, and join my premium community where we can help you personally along with other members. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and now check out the videos I mentioned before on the end screen.